Good morning. Most people are more awake and more dynamic in the morning, so it's good to meet at this time of the day. Let me start with EMU and ESM reform, and I really want to congratulate Chairman of the Eurogroup for reaching an agreement among the enlarged Eurogroup under difficult circumstances. We have been working hard based on the mandate given to the Eurogroup by President Tusk. And the mandate was clear to further strengthen economic and monetary union. I think it's good to remember in that context that during the last 8 to 10 years, a lot has happened to already strengthen the functioning of monetary union. The banking union was created, the ESM was created, the ECB developed new tools, there is better policy coordination in the EU, and very important, national reforms, particularly in the program countries, have been taken successfully, and that's a good reason why we are out of the crisis. So one has to see it against that context, but we all agree that a limited number of additional steps will be useful to make monetary union even less vulnerable. You heard the main topics that were discussed and that you will also find in the documents that will be distributed. So let me say a few words on those points that are particularly relevant for the ESM. Doesn't mean that the other points are not important. At the ESM, we are very interested in the good working of monetary union, but let me focus on those. The backstop obviously is really needed to give the SRF the necessary firepower for big problems. The chairman talked about the details and that what are the conditions to have the introduction before 2024. That would be the latest. But I think we've reached a good understanding today what needs to happen to do it earlier. One point that is important for many member states is that the backstop will be fiscally neutral, which means that the SRF will pay back the ESM, normally after 3 years, but it can be extended by another 2 years. And the money will come from European banks, not from taxpayers, as I sometimes read in some newspapers. On the toolkit, we reached an agreement on the precautionary instruments. As you know, we have two, the PCCL and the ECCL. They have never been used so far, so it's good to understand why not and what to change to make them more accessible. Again, we could also learn from the IMF experience that has experimented a bit over the decades with different precautionary arrangements. There's now the flexible credit line. 3 countries have used it for many years: Colombia, Mexico, Poland, and all 3, I talked to all 3 of them, are very happy with their experience. So it has really worked to their advantage, and we want to learn from that. So the criteria, eligibility criteria were streamlined. They are lighter. PCCL, of course, is only for countries with sound economic situation. The ECCL for countries with some structural weaknesses. On debt sustainability, the ESM will play a role. It will be explained in detail in the papers that you will receive. I think we managed to improve the existing framework for promoting debt sustainability. There will be a single limb CAX introduced by 2022. And there is evidence, we looked at that very carefully, that the introduction of such a collective action clause does not have any negative impact on bond markets. The DSA will be done in a transparent and predictable way, while allowing for some judgment. That's what we agreed. And the ESM might facilitate the dialogue among members and investors. On the cooperation between the Commission and the ESM, we already talked about that after the last Eurogroup, so I can be short. The Eurogroup Plus endorsed our understanding today. And you may remember that we intend to work very closely together, particularly on debt sustainability, and we hope that the summit will endorse also this understanding. Let me say one word on the international role of the euro, because it's very closely linked to the debate on deepening monetary union. I think there's a feeling that the time has come to strengthen the international role of the euro. And then one should ask, what are the conditions under which one can achieve that? And all those who spoke today clearly said a key condition would be deepening of monetary union, make it more robust, less vulnerable. So we are back to all the items that we discussed. Banking union, completing banking union, capital markets union, in order to create a really integrated financial market, which we don't have at the moment. It's fragmented. Precautionary arrangements, the role of the ESM. So this is very important. In addition, of course, to issues of financial infrastructure, payment system, using the euro more in strategic sectors like energy. But the Commission communication has, of course, many more details on that. I don't think I need to say much on Greece, although, of course, we participated in the surveillance mission. Let me just say the objective now that Greece is out of the program is very clear. Greece should strengthen its growth potential while respecting the agreed primary surplus. These are the two key objectives under which we assess the policies of the government. And I think Greece is on a good way. Spain, Cyprus post-program monitoring, I will not say anything to save time. Thank you.